If you are like me and you experience hair fall, if you notice more hair in your hand in the shower, if you are noticing more hair in your brush, if you are noticing maybe a thinning of your part line, maybe the sides of your head, if you are noticing more breakage, then this is the video for you. I have been testing a product for a little while now, and I finally have the green light to make this video and give you a first look at something that is designed to treat all of the things I just mentioned. Now, the product that I'm talking about is an LED therapy hat. And the specs are pretty incredible. The price point is great, and it's from a company that I love and trust. So all the way around, I'm really, really excited about this one. Now, to underscore how much I don't take these recommendations lightly, I want to let you know that I'm actually an affiliate for 2 other companies that make products kind of like this. And I have spent a total of almost 2 years testing a couple other products like this and decided ultimately not to make content, not to promote the brands, and kind of tabled it. Now, I don't want to name names. I'm not going to bash any companies or anything like that. The point of that is to say, I take this very seriously because it's very personal to me. And I have experienced kind of bouts with hair loss, hair breakage, hair fall, over the last few years, sometimes worse than others, and I have felt the desperation, the search for the product that would help, the obsession over it. And it's very, very important to me, and it's very important to this company not to capitalize on that if you feel that same way. So today we're going to talk about reasonable expectations. I'm going to share this with you, and I want you to look at this as a potential tool in your toolkit. Nothing is a magic bullet, but I do think that we need a multi-prong approach to addressing hair loss. There are so many studies that talk about laser and LED effect on the scalp and on hair follicles. At the end of this video, I will put a timestamp here, and at the end of this video, I'll go over some of the studies, a few of them if you're interested. Today, we're going to talk about the new launch from IRradiance. Let's go through the specs. First of all, I like the look of it. I have to say that when I first got this, immediately my first thought was that it's cute. It's not like a big old helmet. It's not kind of clunky and ugly. Okay, so there's the aesthetic kind of vain part. I'm like, well, I could put that on and still answer the door and not feel like an idiot, you know, that kind of thing. Okay, so get that out of the way because that might matter to some of you. Number 2, when you look at the inside of this, it has 120 LEDs. Now, if you're not familiar, LED just stands for light emitting diode, and basically each one of those is an LED. Now, what's important about these particular LEDs is that they emit the perfect wavelength for treating your scalp, and that is 650 nanometers. That is the kind of most studied. It is the most efficacious for helping with hair loss, for treating the scalp. Now, the irradiance is also very important. The irradiance of these LEDs is 5. Heat is not our friend when it comes to scalp health, especially when it is involved in a treatment. So some of those helmets that you see, the reason why they have all those vents in them is because they boosted up the irradiance and they need to let the heat out because they know that locking in heat on your scalp will actually damage your follicles, will actually have the exact opposite effect that you want, and could cause more hair loss. So for me personally, when I would wear the helmets, I would notice that when I took them off, I was warm. So inevitably, I knew that meant my scalp was warm, even with the vents, even with all the things that they did to try and let some heat out. So let's talk about the benefits of LED for your scalp. Number 1, it's going to increase blood flow to the scalp. That means that the more blood flow that you get, it's going to bring nutrients, oxygen. Obviously, that's good for your scalp. That's good for the follicles. That's going to help to feed them so they produce a better hair. LED can reduce shedding. So think about this. We often, and I've said this for years in videos, we often talk about regrowing hair. Retaining the hair that we actually already have on our head is as important, if not more important, than regrowing new hair. Something else that LED can do is lower inflammation of our scalp. Now, this is interesting because lowered inflammation can help with minimizing DHT. Now, DHT is a byproduct of testosterone, and that can actually lead to or contribute to hair loss. I mean, if you've been researching hair loss, you've heard of DHT. You've heard of DHT blockers. You know that that is not our friend. Okay, so we talked about this being 120 LEDs. And I want you to see, there's something else that's kind of important. This is the battery pack. Now, this is supposed to last 8 to 10 uses. It is a 10-minute treatment time, and it is so easy to be compliant. In fact, it's so easy to be compliant that I even asked, I've been on several calls about this cap. I even asked if we can use it more than once. You don't need to use it more than once. In fact, at some point, there's diminishing returns, and then at some point, you're actually working against yourself. So truly, it's 10-minute treatment time. Now, the other thing about this is that this little guy will charge up, and it's good for 8 to 10 treatments. So it does give you the best results when you are on, full LED power. So for me, what I've been doing is I charge this once a week so that I know that it always is fully powering the cap, but I also find that to be really, really easy, that I know that I just have to charge the little battery pack once a week. It then clips on to the back of the cap, easy like a magnet. You press and hold this and it starts your 10-minute treatment time. You will hear it, it'll beep a few times when it's all done, and that's it. Here's where I feel like this is really, really set apart. A lot of the domes were in the $1,000 range to $1,200, $1,300. What we've got here is a price point of $449. I believe that's what they're coming to market for this hat. And that is well under half some of its competitors with anywhere near the specs, right? With the 120 LEDs, etc. And they've offered a 20% discount for me for now. And that might change. It'll probably go to some other discount. It'll, whatever. I will have in the description box always the most current discounted, codes or anything like that. But they're going to be codes. Other people are going to have codes. You will never have to pay full price for this cap. To set the reasonable expectations here, I'm not going to see results from this for a long time. I actually do already think that I'm getting less hair fall. But as you know, I am using hair serums. I'm doing all kinds of things. You can see I haven't colored my hair in a very, very long time. I'm doing all kinds of things to improve the situation. So I'm not going to tell you that this is the only thing that did whatever. It's a tool in my hair health, my scalp health toolkit, and I'm excited about it. If you decide to try this, please do look at the expected time for results, because it's a while. You have to be compliant, which is very, very easy, but it takes a little while. Lots of people will say that they notice less hair fall more quickly than any other result came. So like within 6 weeks, let's say, people are saying, oh, I think I'm noticing that I'm losing less hair and have less in the shower, stuff like that. That comes way before anybody that I've ever seen starts saying, that they're noticing new hair growth. Anyway, you guys, I'm really excited to share this with you today. This is brand new. It's not even out as of the actual launch date of this video. It's going to start shipping, I want to say the 1st of June, 2024. So if you're watching after that, then you're golden. But it's your opportunity to pre-order, to get on the list ahead of time if you want to, and to get in on a special discount if you wanted to try. So leave me any questions down below. I'll do my best to answer. I text with some of the research and development team at Higher Dose, so I can try and get any question answered if you'd like. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're having a really fantastic day, and I will talk to you in my next skincare video. Take care. Here's a study we can go over really quickly, you guys. I will link it down below if you'd like to read more of it. What I want you to take away from this is LLLT is a catch-all term that is low-level laser therapy. It's kind of a misnomer because even though the word laser is in there, sometimes That's just LED. It's not always lasers. So you always have to dig into the study. Now, in this particular study, they took hair from transplant patients and they put 650 nanometer LED on the hair. And then 24 hours later, they examined the hair. And basically what they found was there's this marker type of cell that when you find that cell, it is basically indicating cell proliferation. At the end, the results basically were that compared to the hair follicles in the control group that did not have light therapy, the proportion of that marker positive cell in the irradiated treatment group was significantly increased. That means that the 650 nanometer red light stimulates the hair follicle and promotes hair growth in this ex vivo model. A lot of the studies have been conducted on actual lasers, and they are effective and they're a great treatment for scalp health and for hair loss. Recently, though, there has been kind of a consensus that low-level laser therapy can come from either laser or LED, like I said before, and several in vitro animal and human studies comparing photobiomodulation using either laser or LED revealed that the two are equally effective in terms of wound healing, reducing inflammation, and relieving pain. So to me, I think that that is just a really great argument for the use of LED as a less expensive, great way to get some photobiomodulation in without having to spend a ton of money on lasers. Here's just a couple more studies. If you want to look at them, check the description box. I will have links there if you want to dig in further.